Okay. So take the screenshot. Boolean A is equal to true. Boolean B is equal to what? False. We can't accept 0 and 1 in place of true and false. Unlike C and C++. In C and C++, it is acceptable, but in Java, 0 and 1 treated as integral literal, but not Boolean. Okay, I hope you've taken this screenshot. Now I'm moving to the next program. Look at what is the next program in Boolean literal. Look, yes, public class test2, public static void main string of arguments, boolean c is equal to 0, boolean d is equal to what? 1. Problem. Problem. Okay, it is acceptable in C and C++ language, guys. Okay, but it is not acceptable in what? Java. 0 and 1 treated as integral literal in Java. Okay, 0 and 1 treated as integral literal in Java. So if you try to compile this program, you will get an error. Okay, look at incompatible types. Int cannot be converted to what? Boolean. I told you that 0 and 1 treated as what? Integral literal. And you know the default type of integral literal is what? Int. The default type of integral literal is what? Int. So that's why compiler is generating error message. Int cannot be converted to Boolean. This 0 cannot be converted to Boolean. This 1 cannot be converted to Boolean. So I hope you got the idea that 0 and 1 with Boolean is not possible in Java. Okay. Okay, please take the screenshot. It is not possible in Java. You can't take 0 and 1. These are integral literal. And the default type of integral literal is what? Int in Java. Int in Java. Okay, so moving to the last program. Just take the screenshot, moving to the last program. Now, again, it will display you error. Okay, so remember these points, guys. These points are very important, as I told you. Okay, as I told you, these points are very important. Boolean literal containing only two states, true and false. It accepts one bit of memory to hold true and false, as I told you. And this one, unlike C and C++, Java does not support 0 and 1 for making the condition false and true. Right now, we have seen a program now where we got the error, and now we are seeing the program for this last concept. What is the last concept? Boolean b is equal to true. It is invalid. Why it is invalid? Why? Because it is a string. It is a string. Anything enclosed in double quotes, anything enclosed in double quotes is a string only. Is a string only. Remember that point. Okay, anything in double quotes is a string only. Look at, so here it is in double quotes or not? Yes, string only. Here it is double quotes or not? String only. You will get an error. Okay, you will get an error. Make sure you are very careful in interview or in certification examination. No, a string cannot be converted to boolean. This is what? String. This is what? String. String cannot be converted to boolean. Please take the screenshot. So very small topic. This boolean literal is only two or three things you have to remember very carefully. Whatever the points I have given to you, you just remember those points. You won't face any kind of error while working with boolean literal. Okay, you won't face any kind of problem while working with boolean literal. Okay, once these points are very clear with you. Okay, once these points are very clear with you, you won't face any kind of problem. Now, guys, we are moving to our next topic, a very interesting topic. Okay, very interesting topic. What is that? String literal. Keep the heading string literal. Very important. String literal. Almost it will take, I think, 2 or 3 days to complete string literal. Okay, very big topic, very important topic. String literal. So what is string literal? What is string literal, sir? So any literal enclosed with double quotes, any literal enclosed with double quotes is a string literal. Any literal enclosed with double quotes is a string literal. So what are the valid literals in a string? In the case of a string, look at. So string x is equal to anything within the double quotes, enclosed with double quotes is a string. Correct or not? Yes, sir. It is a string. Enclosed with double quotes, sir. Enclosed with double quotes, sir. Anything enclosed with double quotes is a string. Remember that point only. Sir, next, sir. String y is equal to, let's say, some address b hyphen 61 teachers colony. Okay, teacher colony, right? Like some address is there. Some address is there. Okay, sir. Possible, sir. It is a collection of alphanumeric character. It is a collection of what? Alphanumeric character. Possible, sir. Possible. Possible. String Z is equal to sir 1 2 3. Yes, sir. Possible, sir. All are possible, sir. All are possible. That's why I told you anything within the double quotes is what? Anything within the double quotes is what? String only. String only. That is the string literal. Okay, string literal. Now listen. Listen very carefully. Very carefully listen. Okay. So now a string can be created using two ways. String can be created in Java, can be created in Java using two ways. Using two ways. Listen very carefully. String can be created in Java using two ways. What are those ways, sir? The first way is what? String can be created in Java using two ways. Sir, first ways. What is the first way, sir? The first way is known as what? The first way is known as using string literal. Using string literal. String literal. Using string literal. Sir, what is that? Very simple, sir. String x is equal to Naresh. String x is equal to Naresh. Correct or not? String x is equal to Naresh. Correct or not? Yes, sir. Correct. Okay, this is what string literal. This is what string literal, sir. This is what string literal. Now, what is the second one, sir? What is the second one? Sir, the second one is, listen, the second one is creating string by using new keyword. Creating string object, creating string object using new keyword. Using new keyword. Using new keyword. Creating string object using new keyword. Okay. Now, what is new keyword? I will tell you. Don't worry about that. So, sir, how to create string x is equal to string y is equal to, look at new string. This is another way of creating string object. This is another way of creating what? String object. Naresh. Correct or not? Yes, sir. Correct. So these two ways are popular, sir. These two ways are popular. You can create what? You can create a string object using a string literal. Even you can create a string object using new keyword. Okay, these are the popular ways. Popular means what? These are the two ways to create what? A string object. Okay, these are the two ways to create the string object. Look at very carefully. Now, better to take this screenshot so I can move ahead. Better to take this screenshot. String literal, string x is equal to Ravi, y is equal to some numeric alphanumeric character. Okay, alphanumeric character. String z is equal to 1 to 3. All are possible, sir. These all x, y, z all possible. All are possible. A string can be created in Java using two ways. First, using literal. First, using literal. First, by using string literal. And what is the second one, sir? By using new keyword. String y is equal to new string. Okay, Naresh. Take the screenshot. Okay, now listen one program very carefully. Now listen one program very carefully. I want to show you one program, sir. Listen very carefully. Okay, let's say I am writing a program. File new Java. Listen very carefully. It's a test. It's a test. Okay, and what I'm doing here, just listen carefully. String string x is equal to what I'm taking. I'm taking Naresh. String x is equal to Naresh. I'm taking, sir. Okay, string x is equal to Naresh. I'm taking. Okay, Naresh, I'm taking. Now, string, string is a predefined class as well as it is a data type as well. It is a predefined class in Java available in java.lang package. While descripting the main function, I had given you the idea that string is a predefined class available in java.lang package. And it is a very popular data type. It is very popular. That's why we can work this string. We can use this string as a data type. But what is string? String is a predefined class available in java.lang package. Available in java.lang package. Remember this point very carefully. While delivering the lecture, while describing the main method, while describing the main method, I told you that string and system both are the predefined classes available in java.lang package. Now, sir, Look at line number 5. String x is equal to narrates. String x is equal to narrates. Now x dot, there is a method x dot to uppercase, x dot to uppercase, to uppercase. Okay, x dot to uppercase. Now you know very well. Okay, you know very well that what this two uppercase will do. Very simple, sir. This two uppercase will, what it will do, it will make the narrates in a capital letter. Correct or not? Yes, it will make the narrates in a capital letter. No doubt about that. Okay. It is a valid method, sir. Two uppercase is a valid method of a string class. A string class valid method. A string class valid method. Two uppercase. Okay. Two uppercase is a valid method of a string class. And I hope I told you how to write class and how to write method in Java, right? How to write class and how to write method in Java. Okay, let's see. One more time I'm explaining you how to write a class in Java, or naming convention, naming convention. How to write a class in Java. Okay, how to write a class in Java, sir. How to write a class in Java? Very simple, sir. How to write a class in Java? Very simple, sir. The first letter of each word is capital, sir. The first letter of each word must be capital. Okay, like let's see. This is example of class. This is example of class. First letter of each word must be capital. First letter of each word must be capital. Okay. This is what? This is the writing style. This is the naming convention. This is the naming convention of what? Java. For writing classes. For writing classes. If you want to write classes, sir, this is the naming convention. Okay. How to write a class in Java. Similarly, sir, how to write a method in Java, sir. How to write a method in Java. How to write a method in Java. Let's see. How to write a method in Java. Sir, I want to write a function. I want to write a method. I want to write a method in Java. Okay. So if I want to write, yes, yes. Let me explain. Yes. How to write a method in Java? Of course. How to write a method in Java? The first letter is small. The first letter is small. Okay. The first letter is small. Look at the first one is small. The second one onwards it is capital. This is example of method. This is called camel case. If you search in the Google how to write method, this is called camel case. Camel in the camel, something like that, the shape of the camel, the upper part of the camel, the upper part of the camel is something like that, is something like that. Look at the upper part of camel, the animal camel, the upper part of animal camel is something like that. Look at something like that. Okay, the upper part of animal camel is something like that. So if you observe this, this one, it is also something like that only. It is also something like that only. Look at uh, okay, let me write this one here, then I can draw this. This is example example of method, sir. This is example of method. And so how would you recognize, sir? Very simple, sir. How would you recognize that this is a method, sir? Yes, very simple. The first letter will start with small. Look at it, is look like a camel or not. Look at here, it is like this one. Here it is like this one. Okay, and then again it is moving slowly, and here it is like this one. Okay, that's why it is called camel case. That's why it is called what? Camel case. Correct or not? So how would you recognize, sir? The first one is a small, sir. The first word is a small. Second one onwards capital, sir. Second one onwards capital, and then compulsory there will be a symbol of parenthesis. Compulsory there will be a symbol of parenthesis. You remember I told you parseint method? Parse int. You remember I told you parse int method. Parse int. Look at parse. Single word. Int. I capital. Parse int. Read line. Read line. Read. L capital. Correct or not? Yes. Okay. Caret. We will learn in Java. Caret. Caret. This is a method of string. Method of string. These are the style of writing what? Methods in Java. These are the style of writing what? Methods in Java. I will also tell you the writing style of variables constant in Java. We have a separate style of writing constant. We have a separate style of writing what? Variables. We will discuss. Don't worry. I don't want to make this class so complex right now. Okay. So only two things remember how to write a class in Java. Sir, very simple. Each word first letter is capital. Each word first letter is capital. Sir, how to write methods in Java? First one small, second one words capital, and there should be a parenthesis symbol. There should be a parenthesis symbol. Okay, you can take this screenshot. You can take this screenshot. How to write a class in Java and how to write a method in Java. Camel case. Okay, you can search in Google camel case. CAMELCASE. Camel case. Camel case. Okay. Now, so now you can see here what is the style of writing this method. Two uppercase. Two is the first word, small, upper U capital, case C capital. Correct or not? Yes, sir. Two small, upper U capital, case C capital. Very nice. Now, sir, I want to print X. Sir, I want to print X. What will happen, sir? So can you tell me what will be the output if I run this program? Let me save this program. Let me save in the Boolean itself. So introduction and okay, let's say in the Boolean literal, let's say test.java. Test.java. Can you tell me? Can you guess the output? What would be the output if you print this X? What would be the output? String X is equal to Naresh. X dot two uppercase. Two uppercase is a valid method. Don't confuse. Look at I'm compiling this program. Two uppercase is a valid method, sir. Java C test.java. Test.java. Okay, look, it's compiling. It's compiling means what? It is a valid method. No problem. It is a valid method. It is a valid method. Yeah, Naresh in capital. Okay, Naresh in capital. Okay, any more? Anyone? Other responses? Naresh in capital. Other responses? Okay. So the whole word will be in capital. Now listen. Okay, listen. Yeah, you are right actually. From your point of view, you are right. From your point of view, you are right. But you will surprise to know that you will get Naresh in a small only. You will get Naresh in a small only. Okay, you will surprise to know that you will get Naresh in a small only. Look, I'm going to run this program. You will get Naresh in a small only. Look, you are getting Naresh in a small only. Okay, so why this is? Why Naresh is in the small only? What is the problem here, boss? What is the problem? Is this uppercase method is not working? Is this uppercase method is not working? Although it is a valid method, why? Because the program is compiling. Okay, so once the program is compiling means it is a valid method or not? Yes, 100% pakka it is a valid method. Then what is the problem? Yes, sir. So now listen the concept. What is the concept, sir? I hope you have taken the screenshot of this one. Now, what is the concept, sir? Listen the very carefully. Mind blowing concept. Sir, listen very carefully. Whenever we create an object, sir, whenever we create an object in Java, all objects are created in the heap memory. All objects are created in the heap memory. Listen very carefully what I'm telling to you. Listen very carefully what I'm telling to you. We are learning string literal. Very carefully try to learn what I'm telling to you. Sir, when we compile our program, let's say Java C tester.java, any program, sir, any program will be compiled. If syntax wise, if the program is correct, if the program is correct, you won't find any error. If your program is synthetically correct, guys, if your program is synthetically correct, you won't find any error. Correct or not? You won't find any error if your program is synthetically correct. Now, sir, when I execute this program, okay, when I execute this program, so actually I'm requesting the JVM to execute my, I'm requesting the JVM, JVM to execute my test.class file. Test.class file generated by compiler after successful compilation. I'm requesting to JVM to execute my test.class file generated by the compiler after successful compilation of tester.java. After successful compilation of tester.java. Listen carefully. Now, when I got when I got this test.class file from compiler, JVM demands that dot class file to execute our program. Okay. So when JVM starts executing program, it requests some memory. JVM JVM requests some memory, requests some memory, some memory from the operating system, from the operating system, from the operating system. Okay, the operating system is responsible to provide the memory. Otherwise, JVM is what runtime. JVM is what runtime, and objects are created at runtime or not? Yes, objects are created at runtime. Now, JVM will request some memory from the operating system. Now, operating system will provide the memory. Operating system will provide the memory. Will provide the memory. Correct or not, sir? Correct. Provide the memory. Operating system will provide the memory. Now, whatever the memory operating system will provide, that memory JVM will divide into two sections. Okay, listen carefully. Whatever the memory operating system will provide, that memory JVM will distribute, that memory JVM will divide into two sections. The memory is divided into two sections, by JVM. By JVM. What is the first section, sir? The first section is stack memory. Stack memory. The first section is what, sir? Stack memory. Stack memory. The first one is what? Stack memory. Now, what is the purpose of this stack memory, sir? To hold method data. To hold method data and method execution. And method execution. Method execution. To hold method data and method what execution. That is the what stack memory. Now, what is the second one, sir? Second one is heap memory, sir. Heap memory. Heap memory. Okay, heap memory. Heap memory. This is what to hold object data. To hold object data and object content. Object content. To hold object data and object content, we are using what heap memory. We are using what heap memory. There are a lot of things. There are a lot of things inside. If we go inside the memory of JVM, inside the memory of JVM, there are a lot of things, guys. Okay, there are a lot of things. If you want to see, I have a slide. I want to see you one slide. Look, just wait. A glimpse, actually, I want to give you. Actually, I give you the idea of one glimpse. Just wait, please. Yeah. Yeah, this is the class loader subsystem with JVM architecture. Okay. Now look at some points are there very useful for you. Look at, in order to execute a successful Java program, we need three parties, sir. In order to execute a successful Java program, we need three parties. User, person who writes the Java program. Correct. We are responsible to write the Java program or not? Yes. Number two, Java compiler to compile Java program. Number three, JVM to execute Java program. You know that very well. Okay. Now, life cycle of a Java program, I told you test.java, then test.java is given to compiler. The compiler will generate the bytecode, that is the dot class file. That dot class file we give to JVM, and the JVM will produce the output of Java program. That also you know. Now, the entire JVM architecture can be divided into three parts: class loader subsystem, runtime data areas, execution engine. I will discuss, don't worry. Okay. This diagram actually I want to show you. This diagram actually I want to show you. Now look at here. So once this dot class file is received from Java compiler, this is what we are learning, component of JVM architecture. We will discuss in detail, don't worry, each and everything. It will take two class to complete this session. Okay, but in a glimpse, in a nutshell, I want to show you. So in this dot class file, once this dot class file we received from Java compiler, this class loader subsystem is responsible to load the dot class file into JVM memory. What I told, this class loader subsystem is responsible to load the dot class file into JVM memory. And here you can see we have a method area, we have a heap area, we have a Java stack, we have a PC register, we have a native method stack to execute C and C++ program. You can, you can execute C and C++ program also in Java by using this native method stack with the help of native method libraries. Native method libraries. Okay, here we have a stack memory to hold method and its respective data. Here we have heap memory to hold objects and its respective data. Here we have method area to hold to dump the class. Whatever we have dot class, that dot class is dump inside this method area. I repeat, that's dot class. Whatever the dot class we have, that dot class, first of all, it is dumped inside this method area. Okay, we will discuss. Don't worry. And one more thing, you remember I told you in JVM we have a compiler as well. In JVM I'm talking. I'm not talking about Java compiler. In JVM, inside a JVM, we have a JIT compiler to boost up the execution. To boost up the execution, we have also one compiler in JVM. So we will learn these things in detail. Don't worry. Okay. Don't worry at all. We will learn. Now come to our original point, sir. Come to our original point. So stack memory to hold data and method execution, and heap memory to hold object data and object content. Okay, object content. Object content. Correct or not? Object content. Correct. Okay, correct, sir. Now listen. Now listen. So now I am moving to the next. So you can take the screenshot of this one. I'm going to delete. You can take the screenshot of this one. JVM to execute my test.class. JVM requests some memory from operating system. Operating system will provide the memory. The memory is divided into three sections by JVM: stack memory to hold the data and method execution, heap memory to hold object data and object content. Now here what we are doing, here we are creating the string object now. Yes, look at. Sir, whenever we are creating, listen carefully, boss. Sir, here we are creating the string object, sir. String x is equal to narrates. This we have created. String x is equal to narrates. Okay. Now on this x, on this x, we have used this two uppercase method. Two uppercase method, but no effect is there. No effect. Now what is the reason? Why there is no effect? What is the reason, sir? Why there is no effect, sir? There is a concept with a string. With a string, there is a concept. What is that? Listen very carefully. With a string, there is a concept. What is that? A string is immutable. String is immutable. 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 What is immutable, sir? Unchanged. Unchanged. A string is immutable. That means what? Unchanged. You cannot modify strings. Strings once created. Strings Strings once created, we can't modify it. We cannot modify it. Strings once created, we cannot modify it. Not modify it. We cannot modify it. Listen very carefully. Today's session is very, very important. Sir, what do you mean by is cannot modify it, sir? I'm not getting, sir. I'm not getting. Yes, I'm giving you the idea. Listen. You know, Whenever you create this string object, whenever you create, look at the line number one, string x is equal to Naresh. So whenever we create a string object, what is happening internally, what is happening internally, what is happening internally, once one memory is created, why? Because it is a string object. A string object means we need to hold this string object, we need what? Heap memory. Heap memory is responsible to hold what? Object data and content. Correct or not? So this is what heap memory said. This is what heap memory. Listen carefully. This is heap memory. Now, inside this heap memory, sir, inside this heap memory, there is a special memory. There is a special memory. Inside this heap memory, there is a special memory called a string constant pool. Listen very carefully. String constant pool. String constant pool. Sometimes it is also known as SCP. Sometimes it is also known as what? SCP, string constant pool. SCP. Sometimes it is also known as what? SCP, string constant pool. So whenever we create this string object using literal, not by new keyword. not by new keyword. Whenever we create a string object by using string literal, then that string object is created inside the string constant pool, sir. Then that string object is created inside this constant pool. Let's assume, sir, this is line number one. Let's assume this is line number one, sir. This is line number one. Okay, this is line number one. Line number one. And this is line number two, sir. This is line number two. Assume that. This is line number two. Now, sir, the moment line number one will be executed, what will happen in the string constant pool? In the string constant pool, narrays will be created. The string constant pool narrays will be created, and this narrays you can see it is referred by this x variable. This narrays you can see it is referred by which variable, sir? This narrays is referred by x variable, sir. Look at very carefully. This narrays is referred by x variable. So x is referring, x is referring x is referring to this narration. Yes, sir. Got it. X is referring to this narration. Okay. X is referring to the rest. X is a reference variable, sir. X is a reference variable. Narration is a string object. X is a reference variable. Narration is a string object. Okay, better to write down. Okay, look at I'm writing here. X is a reference variable. Reference variable. X is a reference variable. Okay, reference variable. And what about narration? Narration is a string object. Narration Narration is a string object. String object referred by X. Object referred by X. Okay. X is a reference variable and arrays is a string object referred by X. Sir. Okay, now according to the concept, sir, according to the concept, look at what is the concept. String is immutable, sir. This is the concept, sir. String is immutable means what? Just like constant, sir. That's why the name is, look, a string constant pool. A string constant pool, sir. String constant pool. It is a constant pool, sir. It is not modifiable. It is not modifiable, sir. It is constant pool, sir. Modifiable. You can't modify it. The strings once created cannot be modified. We can't modify the string. So when you apply this line number two, sir, when you apply this line number two uppercase method, what will happen? Of course, one capital arrays will be created. No doubt about that. Of course, one capital arrays will be created, but not by modifying this arrays, but not by modifying by this small case arrays, because string is immutable, sir. String is constant, sir. You can't modify the string. You cannot change the string. Okay, once it is created, you cannot change the string. So what will happen? Of course, one capital arrays will be created here, no doubt. One capital arrays will be created here with the effect of this two uppercase method, but not by modifying the lowercase narrative, but not by modifying the lowercase narrative. Of course, the uppercase narrative will be created with the effect of this two uppercase method, but not by modifying this existing lowercase narrative. Why? Because strings are immutable in Java. String is immutable in Java. You cannot modify. Okay, so look at, of course, this capital arrays is created, but no one is referring to this capital arrays, sir. No one is referring to this capital arrays, correct or not? No one is referring to this capital arrays. Okay, still X is referring to what? This small arrays. Still X is referring to what? This small arrays. So that's why, what is the reason here? Of course, you are getting capital arrays, but no one is referring to that capital arrays. That is the reason. What output you are getting, sir? You are getting output what? You are getting output small arrays only. Small arrays only. That is the reason you are getting output small arrays only. Sir, how to get output capital arrays? How to get the output capital arrays? Okay, how to get the output capital arrays, sir? Yes, sir, possible. How to get the output capital arrays? I am telling you. Listen very carefully. How to get the output capital letters. But do one thing. First, you take the screenshot of this one. First, you take the screenshot of this one, sir. First, you take the screenshot of this one. Okay, now I'm telling you how to get capital letters. Listen. Okay, don't worry. Listen carefully. So now, sir, I'm going to delete this section. and listen very carefully. Sir, sorry. String x is equal to Naresh. String x is equal to Naresh, sir. Okay, very nice. Let me change the color. String x is equal to Naresh. Now, sir, now you know, sir, if I write, if I write, if I write x dot two uppercase, x dot two uppercase, of course, capital Naresh will be created, but that capital Naresh is not referred by any variable. What I can do, if I write here, look at, if I write here, x is equal to x dot two uppercase, now what will happen? Listen. That means what? X dot two uppercase, and of course it will create capital arrays, no doubt about that. So that capital arrays I want to assign on this x variable, sir. That capital arrays created by this two uppercase method, I want to assign in this x variable, sir. Is it possible or not? Happily possible, sir. What is the problem? Happily possible, sir. What is the problem? Okay. So now what will happen in the diagram? In the diagram, what will happen? Now this x will refer to this Naresh. This x will refer to this Naresh, and now this Naresh, this previous previous reference will be deleted. Previous reference will be deleted. Correct or not? This previous reference will be deleted. Why? Because a variable can hold only one value at a time. Remember the drawback of variable. What is the drawback of variable? A variable can hold only one value at a time. X is what, sir? X is a reference variable, sir. X is a reference variable. So now this capital Naresh will be held by this x. Okay, this x. Now can you prove it in programming, sir? Look, I can prove. You just write here what x is equal to x dot to uppercase. Okay, you save this program, you compile this program, and enjoy the output. Yes or no? Yes. So, sir, what is the conclusion, sir? What is the conclusion? Very simple, single line conclusion, sir. What is the conclusion, sir? Very simple, single line conclusion. What is that? Strings are immutable in Java. Strings are immutable in Java. Immutable, that is unchanged. Unchanged in Java. Unchanged in Java. In Java. Hence, 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 once created, we cannot modify. We cannot modify. We cannot modify the existing string. Once created, we cannot modify the existing string. Correct or not? Yes. Once created, we cannot modify the existing string. Existing string. This is the conclusion we got. This is the conclusion we got. Okay. Now better to take the screenshot. Now better to take the screenshot. And meanwhile, if you have any doubt, anything in your mind, you can may ask in the chat window. Please take the screenshot. And meanwhile, if you have any doubt, you can ask in the chat window. Okay, taken the screenshot. Now listen. Now next point. Each and every point you listen very carefully, guys. Okay, this is the heartbeat concept of Java. Listen very carefully. So now I'm going to move to the another section. Okay, I'm going to move to the another part. Now what is the another part, sir? Listen, sir, we know we can create this string object by using two ways. Correct or not? Yes, sir. We can create this string object by two ways. String x is equal to Naresh. String x is equal to Naresh. This is the first way, sir. And string y is equal to new string. String y is equal to new string technology. String y is equal to new string technology. Okay. So this is what two ways to create this string. Two ways to create this string object. Correct or not? This is called string literal. This is called creating of a string object using new keyword. Now, what will happen? Again, listen. Again, inside this heap memory, inside this heap memory, the object will be created. Both are object. One is by using string literal object. Another one is by using new keyword. So inside this heap memory, what will happen? We have a string constant pool. String constant pool. Okay, string constant pool. Here, Naresh will be created. Here, Naresh will be created, and this Naresh will be referred by this X variable. Okay, this Naresh will be referred by this X variable. Now, this is in the string constant pool. Okay, this is in the string constant pool. But where this technology will be created, where this technology object will be created, this technology string object will be created in the normal heap. This technology string object will be created in the normal heaps, guys. This will be created in normal heap, not in a string constant pool. And now it is referred by Y. It is referred by Y. So this is the second concept. This is referred by Y. This is X and this is Y. Okay, this is X and this is Y. So whenever we create a string object using string literal, it is created in string constant pool. And if you are creating the string object using new keyword, it is created in normal heap memory. Look, I am writing this. Just listen carefully. So whenever we create string object, string object using string literal, string literal, literal, then the string will be created. String will be created in the string constant pool area. String constant pool area. String constant pool area. Whereas, whereas on the other hand, if we create create string object using new keyword using new keyword, then the string object will be created in normal heap memory area as shown in the diagram, as shown in the diagram. Okay, so very carefully you listen. What is that? So whenever we create this string object using string literal, sir, string literal, then what will happen? Then of course the string object will be created in a string constant pool, right? And if we create this string object using new keyword, then it is not in a string constant pool, it is only in the heap memory, it is created in the heap memory only. Okay, heap memory will hold heap memory will hold this technology. Okay, of course heap memory is also holding that narrative, but we have some separate non-modifiable area. What is that? That is what narrative. Even this technology is also non-modifiable. Okay, but listen very carefully. Last point I want to discuss, this is the second point. What is the third point? Very important. What is that? Listen very carefully. What is the third point? You know, what is the third point, guys? Listen very carefully. You know, in Java, memory is managed by automatically. Third point, in Java, memory is managed by automatically. Automatically, memory management means what? There is a concept called garbage collector in Java. There is a concept called garbage collector in Java. What garbage collector? What garbage collector is doing? Garbage collector is automatically. Garbage collector is automatically collect the unused objects. Listen very carefully. Garbage collector, what it does, it automatically collect the unused objects. What is unused objects? What is unused objects? Let's say you remember in the last diagram, we had created two narration. One is small narration, one is capital narration. Correct? One is small narration, one is capital narration, like that. One we have what? Capital narration. One we have what? Capital narration. And when the once the we have what? Capital nares. And once the x is referring to small nares, that means this capital nares is free, or this capital nares is not referred by any of the reference variable. Okay, this capital nares is not referred by any of the reference variable, so this capital nares is eligible for garbage collection. Listen carefully. This capital nares is eligible for garbage collection. So whatever the memory this nares, capital nares object has taken, it will be returned to what? JVM. Or this corresponding memory will be free for reuse. For reuse, this corresponding memory will be free. Correct or not? But sir, listen, only the string in Java, that much of powerful concept string is, only the string, this is string constant pool is not subject to garbage collector, sir. This is our third point. We will discuss tomorrow in more detail. Okay, in more detail we will discuss tomorrow why strings are not eligible for garbage collector. So whatever you create inside this string constant pool, not inside the heap memory, inside the string constant pool. Okay, whatever the string object is created inside the string constant pool, that are not eligible for garbage collection. Garbage collector cannot collect a string object from a string constant pool. Okay, from a string constant pool, it is not the subject of garbage collection. Okay, so tomorrow I will discuss why string constant pool is not subject to garbage collection, how Java or how JVM manage the memory inside the string constant pool. Why? Because once it is not the subject of garbage collection, that means if this memory is created, if this memory is filled up with some string, then how internally Java, JVM will manage that memory? Okay, how is happening internally? Everything we will discuss tomorrow. Okay, so today we got 2 points only. Today from string we got only 2 points. What are those 2 points? Sir, strings are immutable in Java, sir. Strings are immutable. Once you create a string object, it cannot be modified. It cannot be modified. We can create a string object using two ways: by using string literal, by using new keyword. If you are creating using string literal, string objects are created in string constant pool. If you are creating a string object using new keyword, then string objects are placed inside the heap memory. That is the special area heap memory, and that heap memory is responsible. This technology is what it is. It can be garbage collector. This technology garbage collector can remove this technology from here by because it is inside the heap memory. But what about this? That is no possible, not possible. Why? Because it is in a special area. What is that? String constant pool. A string constant pool only is not eligible for garbage collection. You cannot collect this narrative object from here, even if it is not containing any references. It is not containing any references. Okay. So I hope it's clear. I hope it's clear. If you have any doubt, you may ask. This is the very important concept.